if I want to have the impact that I truly want to have in the world around me, if I want to really light a fire under this planet while I'm here, if I want to leave a legacy for my kids and for the lives that I'm reaching, that managing my time and getting a handle on how I'm spending it is a must. All right, let's do this. I'm so excited today. We're wrapping up this, I think it's 5-week focus on time management. And for me, I'm just so excited to really empower you guys in it, because for me, time management was like the pink unicorn in the sky that you could never really catch. And it was like always spiraling, and so many different tools and apps and the things. And mind you, I do have an app for this, but I don't have it's not all over the place, right? And it is really, I would say, probably doubled my productivity over the course of the time that I've been in practice with this. And what I mean by this is this time management is a mindset, not a tool. And once you actually have it click in the mindsets and the way of thinking, everything else dials in. Because when you understand and you have clarity, and then you really understand the reason why you're wanting what you're wanting, you can take action steps towards that on a regular basis. I mean, one thing we can do sometimes, we get really passive of well, if I embark on something and it gets hard, it must not have been for me, right? Or if I'm going after something, then, God should just bring it about. And that's what faith looks like. Well, that's just not true. We have our part, right? And we have to decide and get very clear. And one thing I've really learned over a period of time here is that making a firm and clear decision is life-changing. And for me, there's 3 things. If you can master 3 things: understanding your needs and what they mean, mastering your emotions, and mastering your time, I'm telling you, the trajectory of your life will change. And so I'm really committed to seeing all of you master this stuff, to absolutely get solid in it. And I feel like on some of it, I'm getting to that mastery level, and I'm so excited about it. I'm still playing around in the sandbox a little bit, because time is it tugs at us, right? And it can be really hard, but here's the thing. Practice and repetition. Tony Robbins says repetition is the mother of skill, right? You have to continue to do it, put it in your life, and make it a must. And so I wanted to take a minute before I start this. I'm going to get into the practical how-tos today, and just really try to make it clear for you so it's you can activate it really well. But first, I just want to take a minute and just sit on this notion of why. Why is it important that you get a hold of your time right now? Why does this need to be a must for you? So just think on that a minute. Some thoughts I have is, hey, we have all the time there is, but time is also a non-renewable resource. You can always get more money, and you can always get more things, and you can always develop and shift and change, but once time is spent, it's gone. And so if I want to have the impact that I truly want to have in the world around me, if I want to really light a fire under this planet while I'm here, if I want to leave a legacy for my kids and for the lives that I'm reaching, then managing my time and getting a handle on how I'm spending it is a must. And besides that, if I'm distracted and I'm doing things that are in the 80% instead of the 20 that'll get the 80%, or if I'm procrastinating, I'm losing time, I'm losing impact. I'm not able to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. I'm telling you, people always say, if I knew now, or if I knew then what I know now, how my life would be different. Here you have this opportunity in front of you to learn from somebody who's done it, that if you can implement it and really master it, you'll get there so much faster. and you'll waste so much less time, and you'll get out of your own way even more. So that's something I want you to remember for breakout rooms today is, why is this going to be a must for you? And why is this important? And I know y'all have tried tools before and they've not worked, and you're trying, like, I've done everything, right? Well, if you've done everything, then something would be working. So there's still something. And so it's about doing those reps, those repetitions, and trying it and failing as fast as you can, because when you fail, you have this opportunity to learn. And when you learn, you have an opportunity to celebrate. And so we got to hop in with our whole hearts, no excuses. No, I didn't want to do a brain dump today. I didn't want to do a list. My energy was low, right? Can't do that anymore. So no excuses. I'm going to hop right into this. We're going to get into a little bit the granular, which is not my favorite, but we're doing it because it's so important to drive this in. So listen, guys. We're not just talking about stuff in this room, in this place, in this moment in time. We're just not talking about it. We have to use it. And so I want to make this so simple a 10-year-old could pick it up and a CEO would still be impressed. How's that sound? So here's the promise. Follow this trail. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to run this every single day, every week, without being lost in the weeds. Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay, so you are here on the trail map, right? That's step 0. You're at base camp. We're going to start with that step. You're going to figure out, what do I actually need? Right? You don't need a fancy app. You don't need like one place to think. This is your base camp. You just need something simple, a paper notebook, or a digital document somewhere to capture it. And we have what's called the Map Pack, Monumental Action Plan Pack, that is out of this world. It's $27. If you want it, to try it, to get this system on paper, let us know. We can send it to you. You need a calendar that you actually look at. And if you're anything like me, I used to have all these calendars because I had to figure out, well, where am I when I started with the calendar on the refrigerator at home. It was paper, and I'd be out working. That time I was pastoring a church, and somebody say, hey, pastor, I want to meet with you. And I'm like, I have to consult my refrigerator first. And so then I had to adapt, right, to something else. And finally, I landed on this plain and simple Google Calendar. And I love Google Calendar because it also connects with Acuity or Calendly. It connects with all my apps, right? So you need a paper or a notebook or somewhere to capture. You need a calendar that you're actually going to use and look at. And you need a weekly 20-minute appointment with yourself. We'll call that the trail map. You need a trail map, non-negotiable. And some of us who are achievers, we have a hard time sitting with ourselves without some sort of distraction, without some sort of something, right? But this is that check-in with yourself. For me, I've gotten into a practice. It's 5 minutes every day. It's like, okay, what is my outcome for tomorrow? And every Sunday right now, it's what are my outcomes for the week? Have I made sure and set myself up for a win? So I have one weekly appointment and one really small daily appointment. Okay, so that's step 0. That's your base camp. That's what you need. Notebook, calendar, an appointment with yourself. Pretty easy, right? We can do that. One of the things that stalls us the most is overcomplication. So I'm trying to take that out for you today, right? Step 1 then. So we had step 0, we got step 1. I'm going to mess with your heads because it's messing with mine. Capture. We got to empty the backpack. You know, most of us, we're packing with a big bag full of rocks. My husband actually has done this. There was this, we were walking on Reading Peak and we were in trouble, and I'm telling you, I was not sure how we were going to get back. Even texted Amber my location because it didn't look good for reaching down by by the middle of the night. And I was like, I don't know, because we're ended up in the wrong place in the wrong time, right? So I'm sliding down a mountain on a large rock about the size of my butt. And he literally kept the rock in his backpack the entire way, this big rock, so that if we had to slide some more, it really came in handy. And then he decided to just do the entire rest of the hike with this massive rock in his pack. Well, what does that do? Makes it heavy. It makes it stinking heavy. I'm like, I don't even want to, like, what are you doing? There are rocks all over here. But he's like, but this is the rock that got your butt down this mountain. I'm like, hallelujah, right? So people are hiking with these backpacks that are full of rocks. What those rocks are loose tasks, ideas, guilt, mental labor, everybody else's emotions. We have to dump it. We have to get it out of our head, get it out of our heart. Write it all down. And I know I can be allergic to journaling, so we're not going to use that J word because it can be scary to some people, right? That's scary to me. I'm like, oh, journaling. But no, just make a capture list. Just capture it. Get it all down on paper. Because here's the thing. If it lives in your head, it owns you. If it lives on paper, you own it. So, step 2, you got to chunk it out. And what I mean by chunk it out is we are people that are 1, 2, 3 money. 1, 2, 3 money. And sometimes we're like, holy smokes, that's a long to-do list. And then we allow ourselves to get overwhelmed and limited. And the amount of times I hear achievers say overwhelmed, I mean, it's like on the daily, right? But so we have to get it into things we can manage. So if you do simple like work, health, relationships, finances, home, growth, whatever your version is, the biggest, most important things in your life. And then you just take each thing and put them into a grouping. This is just narrowing it down so they're in little amounts, 1, 2, 3, many, right? And so it brings the many into a few. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I can handle this. One hill at a time, not the whole mountain, right? So step 3, we're going to choose 3 things. You're going to pick your summit. What are the things that are musts for you to do this week that will get you your outcome that you imagined and you envisioned and that you chose when we started the process? Got to pick your summit. Not everything matters. I can show you my app that I use. I might actually give a quick show, but I've got this massive list of stuff. But then I just pick the 3 things that matter the most. And I even look at all my categories and I go, okay, I really need to focus on this category. So you must choose 3 must-do outcomes for the 3. And that's 3 outcomes. You want results, not tasks. Not your top 3 tasks for the week. Your top 3 results. So that can look at like your result that you want is I want to work out 3 days this week and I want to climb a mountain on Saturday. Something you can tell. I want date night planned. And these are things I will do this by this time. You know, SMART goals. I won't go SMART goal right now, but it just has to make sense. And it has to be achievable, right? And it has to be in alignment with what your big picture too. It's the next step. It's doing the next right thing in front of you. Sometimes when you get caught on a cliff face like I did, and you have to walk down the entire cliff face, it can feel really big. And so what we did to get ourselves down that cliff face that we were pretty nervous about was go, okay, what is the next right step? What is the next boulder we can hop over? What is the next thing we can do? The next step, build for each summit. And for those 3 musts, You have to take the time. And now this is clumsy at first. It's always clumsy, but you'll get so fast at this, it'll be second nature. For me, I still do, but I don't have to even write it anymore because I go, okay, my desired outcome for this week, well, I'll give you my last week. My desired outcome for last week is that we were planning this 1 hour webinar and we really wanted to nail it. And so my outcome was to be like, totally nail that thing in, be ready and show up fully in state and serve people really well. That was really what it was. What is my result? I'm going to host a Kick Butt webinar that will really bless and help people. My purpose, why must I make that happen? I have to attach it to emotion and it has to be true. And so for me, it's I am on this earth to help leaders play the long game well and to help leaders to build something that lasts, success that stands the test of time. I am put on the earth to do this. I am a coach by my identity, not just by, oh, it was COVID and I needed my own business. This is actually what I'm here to do. And so this is a must to show up fully for the people that I'm serving. And then after that, so I've got the result I want is that Kick Butt totally off the charts webinar. Number 2, my purpose was, because I was born to do this. Go to the deepest why. Why is this important to you? And then we map it out. These are your trail markers. I walk this trail. It's to Porcupine Lake. We tried to walk it this weekend. The wind blew us away to another trail. It was that bad. But every single mile, there's a marker that you're like, oh, made another mile. So I want you to actually list 3 to 7 actions and order them by impact. So you draft the key points, block 60 minutes of deep work. These are examples. Submit, confirm. Now here's the pro tip. This is so important. The purpose is the difference between dragging your feet and charging the ridge. If your why doesn't light you up, you will never climb. When pain comes or a block comes, I've got a client that I keep hearing, oh, I'm so busy, something got in the way, and then they aren't having progress on this. It's because they're not fully attached to their purpose, and in reality, they don't even believe they can truly do it. So I'm giving you a lot of steps. Hang with me, guys. Are you with me? All right. I love this. Step 5, this is hard for me. This one's hard for me. Put it on the calendar. You have to paint the trail on the map. If you look at a trail map, you can see the little dashes that'll get you to where you're going, right? So you'll see here, this is though you are here now, especially when you're lost in the woods like I like to get. And then you go, well, I want to get there. And now we got to put the little dashes of how we're going to get there. See, great hikers don't hope to find the trail. They mark it. They figure out where they're going. So it's really important that you block time for the first action of each thing that you need to do. If it's not in the calendar, it's just a wish, plain and simple. Yeah, if it's not in the calendar, it's just a wish. And how many of you go through a week and go, oh crap, oh shoot. I didn't actually do what I meant to do. I didn't actually achieve my desired outcome. Why? Because I didn't put it on the calendar. And sometimes, guys, you've got people pulling at your time. It's just a little pro tip here. You got people pulling at your time. I learned this when I was a pastor. Everybody wants to talk to the pastor. And there's times where I'm like, I'm sorry, I have a meeting. And sometimes that meeting's with me because I need to check in with myself. So block time. You have a meeting. You have a meeting with yourself. You have a meeting with these actions. And make sure to schedule a little buffer. Who has done this where I think I did this last week with Amy. Yes, I did. I didn't pee before my meeting with Amy, and then we decided to work longer and harder on her goal. And so I actually had to stop my meeting to go pee. I'm sorry, pause. We're going to have to come back to this in a little bit. Why? Because I did not schedule a buffer for surprise or emergency, so that doesn't just nuke my day, right? No, I went meeting to meeting with no gap in between, and in the middle, all I can think is, oh boy, I'm like, I can't focus until I take a minute break, right? I think there was a commercial out there where it was some stomach medicine. It was like that. I'll have to dig that out. But it's really fun. You think all you can literally think about is the fact that you have to pee. And I'm like, wait, no. We're going somewhere here, so I'll be right back. Don't do what Rebecca does, okay? Don't do that. Schedule those couple of minutes. And you know what? If you can learn to manage your state, your emotional state, your entire world will change. And so having those 10 minutes, 15 minutes in between meetings are an utter game changer. For me, I've learned every time I go to the bathroom, I also jump on my rebounder. Why? Because it gets my blood moving. I've been sitting too long. And it gets my brain moving. And then while I'm on there, I'm thinking of what I can be grateful for the last meeting I just got. So I'm never in that, oh my God, another meeting. Last week I had 3 days where it was meetings back to back all day. That's why Amy had to wait for me to go pee, because I never had any breaks. And that was really silly. But never once did I go, oh God, I got another meeting. You hear that from me, because I would always take a minute, check in with myself and check in with gratitude of, wow, that meeting was extraordinary. You hear my husband talk about it too, because I have this pattern now built that's like, how when you're breaking out a new trail, like it can be rocky and it's crap all over it, and you got to move the branches and things like that. But when you've walked the trail long enough, it's rutted in and it just happens, and it's easy now. It's gotten easy for me now. What I do is, and what I'll do right after this meeting is I will literally walk out of here. I'll walk in and my husband go, that was so awesome. And I'll tell him why it was so awesome. And then I'll go to the bathroom and I'll jump on the rebounder, in that order, by the way. If you think about jumping on the rebounder, P4, yeah. Let's let Tasha back. There we go. So we block time. We schedule some buffers. Just a couple more steps. You got this. Y'all with me? Okay, we got this. Oh, Andrew's kind of like, No, we're here. Okay. All right. So calendarize. Step 6, daily power up. It's that morning check-in with yourself. It's like, what is my summit today? Why does it matter? And what's my first step? Then just take one of those starter steps in that first 5 minutes, because momentum is magic. All right, I better pick up the pace because our time is flying. Whew. Step 7, leverage and let go. Smart hikers don't carry what others can. So you can circle anything someone else can do 80% as well. Leverage it. Get the result and the deadline, not just a task. The way I get the result I need is I hired some beautiful, amazing people to come around me. And I also have Miss Amber, and I hire her. She's just my BFF. She is, yes, I love that girl. Oh my gosh, I love that girl. But we can do anything together, our team. There's nothing that gets in our way. But when I'm carrying it by myself, everything slows down. No, I cannot do the things that Eunice can do. I'm just saying, that girl knocks it out of the park. And in case you didn't know, she works with me. And I love her, and she's amazing. I can't do all this alone. I can do some things really awesome, but there's things I don't do awesome at. And thank God, others on my team are awesome at those things, and I'm terrible at. So circle things that maybe somebody else could do. Leverage that. Get that result. And cross out anything that doesn't matter. Remember, where did I talk about this? I talked about this recently. I don't know if it's to you guys. Sorry, I talk a lot. Busy does not equal important. Sometimes we're busy as a badge of honor for our own, meeting our own need for significance. But simplicity is better than busyness. Okay, so we're almost there. We're almost there. 2 more. No, 1 more. Last one is weekly trail map. This one's hard sometimes to remember to take the time, but I'm telling you, if you will invest the time, you will get dividends from this. Once a week, the same time, the same place, celebrate your wins. Progress is fuel, and actually I challenge you, like every single meeting you have, everything you embark on, everything you're wanting to do, what is something you could really be thankful and excited about? Even if you really feel like something really sucked and it didn't turn out the way you wanted, there is something that you can celebrate, like, oh my gosh, I freaking showed up. I failed miserably, but hey, I showed up. I took the risk. And so celebrate your wins. Progress is fuel for the next win. And scan last week's chunks. And then migrate over what still matters and release what doesn't. And then you set a new 3 things, 3 outcomes, not tasks, outcomes, and put them on your calendar for the next week. Every single week, a little meeting with yourself to celebrate, to reflect and review, process, and to set up for the next coming week. So listen, you do not have a time problem. You have a focus problem and a meaning problem. So getting a clear result focuses you on the summit. Understanding the purpose will fuel you when it starts to hurt. So, you know, your hammies are burning, your quads are tight, and your legs, and I have so been there. But it's like, I have an identity as a mountain climber that I am a finisher. And so when it gets really hard and I don't want to do it anymore, it's really uncomfortable, that purpose that I have on it, it gets me to that finish line every single time. I have never actually backed away from a summit. And it's been a few years now of weekly summit climbing. There's my most famous one, and Andrew was actually on the hike with me, was I had 102 fever. I couldn't even talk. I was sicker than sick could be. I had crashed the night before, and I said, I am not missing this hike at Lake Tahoe. There is no way I'm going to miss this thing, so by golly. And there was a time where I'm like, I am just keeping y'all back. This sucks. And I about lost it because I just was not. And I tell you what, Andrew's like, we should turn around, you know, and I'm like, I don't care, I'm a finisher. And we made it to the summit. And would I ever do that again? Probably wasn't a good idea, let's be honest. Don't hike when you're sick. I mean, when you're minorly sick, it can actually get you to not be sick anymore. But for that one, I should have just not done that. But it was kick butt because I am a finisher. I have never once turned around and said, oh, no, I don't finish. That's my identity. That's who I am. And that purpose, and that fuels me. And your map will keep you moving, marker to marker, without drama. So when the storm rolls in, the kids are sick, your clients are panicking, you know, all that, you can return to your map. What matters to me? Why? And what's my next marker? And that's the how. So I'm going to send you guys to do a work together on this. Let me see. I'm going to get in the chat. Where are we? There's literally the hardest hike of your life. I actually have finally found a harder hike, Andrew. I actually did, because I honestly thought I was gonna not make it. I was needing to know where I am, so if somebody needs to come find us in the woods. It was that moment, I'm telling you. So, okay, so let me make sure I got everything in here. All right. I want you guys to take a little picture of your action steps, and I want you to go do the thing together. And I also want you to first answer this one question. Now, this is going to be really quick. So, Amber, if you can give it maybe 2 to a room, because we need to like nail it and really get on it. But the first question is, have you been doing the steps the last 4 weeks? Yes or no? If not, why not? And then how are you going to make this a must? Answer those things for me. To each other. We need some place to really be doing this together is everything. And so let's just be honest about it, and then let's make a plan, because sometimes we don't follow through the things. All we got to do is hop back on the trail and start walking. Okay? So Amber, are you ready to send them to the... All right.